Okay guys, I've got some spare time, so I figured I may as well record it something. So a lot of you have been asking me, well, accepting trade offers is all well and good, but what about sending them? Well, that's what we're going to go over today. Also, another quick note, massive changes have been done to the library since I last made the video. It's a lot cleaner and easier to use, and a lot of the stuff that was crazy is not so crazy anymore. So for the sake of time, we're just going to start from the donation bot sample that you can download from GitHub. This way I don't really have to explain a lot of the changes, but if you do want me to explain something, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I understand that doing things this way is a little sloppy, especially for people who aren't that familiar with programming, but I'm very sick, and I know you guys love it when I put something out, so I figured I would just do it. So first you want to go to GitHub. You want to go to this link. I'll put it in the description like I always do. I'll provide two links. One's going to be a link from the repository in this history so that everything will work just fine with the video, and then the direct link to the repository so that you can view the newer changes and hopefully make those changes to update your bot as you go. So, like we did last time, download zip. It'll download somewhere like right here. And then you won't need this anymore. If it has this weird number after it, you might want to remove that. I'm not sure if that causes any problems, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to do it. So then you're going to extract that, and you're going to trash that. And you're going to go in here, and then you're going to go into samples. Then you're going to click on donation bot. This is a solution file. Some of the people who aren't as familiar with programming who've been downloading this have been contacting me wondering what to do. Well, this tutorial is kind of for you guys as well. So you want to double click this. Pardon my voice and my coughing, I am extremely sick. You don't want it to ask you for every project and solution, otherwise it's going to ask you twice, and you know, there's no point. So the nice thing about doing things this way is you can compile the library and the donation bot all at the same time. Okay, so what we're going to be building is we're going to be building a program that once a successful donation has been made, the bot will give the donator a random item from its inventory. Oh, another quick thing, your API key absolutely 100% has to be linked to the account that the bot is using. Otherwise, the bot will get trade offers from the account that is linked to the API key. So if I were to use my actual API key that's linked to my main account and I used it on the bot would start getting confused since it's seeing my trade offers and not its trade offers. So just keep that in mind. So you'll see this, and I'll just go over a few of the smaller changes. I revamped how the config is handled, so now you can have a JSON config or an XML config. I opted for the XML config since it seems to be easier for people to understand, since you don't have to bother with commas and quote symbols and all that fun stuff. One thing you might also notice is that down in the do login, you'll see something like this. You'll see something like, oh, it's right here. You'll see me setting the account equal to this. Well, I decided that ref was a little complicated and just so stupid of me to have done in the first place. It just complicated things. It was pointless not to have the function just return an account field. Oh no, it was just poor programming on my part. So you'll see this thing called retry do login. It'll accept a time span and the number of retries. So it does exactly what it says, is that on fail it'll do it again. However, you still have the good old web do login. This will only attempt the login once and crash if it's not successful, so it's probably safer to do this, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Another small change is you'll notice this. This looks complicated, but it really isn't. The whole reason, this is called dependency injection. It's a little over my head right now. I'm still studying it, but suffice it to say, this is all you'll need. The whole reason that this is here is because it helps with unit tests, which are fun little snippets of code that test your code for you, so that you don't have to launch the bot every time and test it yourself. You can also see them over here. So if you go in here, go into the master, you see C# trade offers tests, and then you'll see different things that test different stuff. So you'll see, so these are the tests for the conversions. So I'll just, I can't really show you that right now, but rest assured it is pretty cool. I highly suggest, especially if you're new, is look up unit testing and test-driven development. It will save you a lot more time. You'll write twice as much code, but that's fine since you'll be able to test all of your code easily. Whenever you make a change, test the code. Whenever you don't, whenever you remove something, test the code. All that fun stuff. And so long as the tests pass, you didn't screw anything up. Well, actually it depends because of code coverage. That's not really that important right now since the tutorial's an exchange bot. So, well, it's really an exchange bot, but we're just modifying the good old donation bot, so the namespace will still be donation bot and all that stuff, but it'll just be an exchange bot. So exchange bot by Sneaky Fox. There is an easier way to do the exchange, but in order to go over the different aspects of the library, I figure I'll just do it this way. So I think that's about it. That covers all the newer changes, the stuff that has broken people's code if they try using the newer library and using my old video. But I highly suggest you go over the library as well as the new sample and compare it to the old one. See what's changed, you know, just see how the organic growth works. So let's go in here. So if items to give equals null, except a donation. Well, here is something really cool. You'll want to go up to the top of this thread right here, but after the thread.state, and you'll want to create a new inventory handler. Handler equals new inventory handler. And this is a cool thing. It'll initialize, well, it won't initialize yet, but we'll go over that in a second. Is that you can initialize it with a Steam ID and your API key. So you want to do account.steamid and config.API key. Now, depending on how you've done things, whether or not you're actually building it off of this or not, this might be different depending on how you've treated things. For example, you might have put it in a separate file, or you might actually have used your own config style, but all you need to know is that you need to put your API key here. It doesn't have to look like this. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably even, you know, put your API key in exactly like this, like A, B, so yada yada yada, but you don't, I think it's bad practice to do that, but you know, hey, it's your project, not mine. Another neat thing about C# is you can use this var thing. Var is a compile, is that during compilation, it's like, okay, so there's this var handler variable. What's it going to be? Oh, it's set to a new inventory handler. So then the compiler changes it to this before it compiles. So it becomes inventory handler equals new inventory handler, yada yada. So it's just kind of like a shorthand, or a short way to write things. I don't really know if it would be considered good practice or not, but you know, it's all up to your own style. I just follow what ReSharper tells me to do because it's consistency. And then we'll want to rename this to something more important, so like inventory handler. Or, you know, better yet, my handler. Or my inv handler. So then we'll want to refresh the inventories. My inv handler refresh inventories. Oh wait, it's complaining. So what you want to do is the app IDs of the inventories you want to refresh and look at. So for the sake of time, we're just going to give the person a csgo item. So we're just going to do uint app IDs equals new uint 730. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's much better. I had a bit of a brain fart there. And then you can just pass that array straight up. So you can also do like tf2, which is that app ID is 440. You can do other things and etc. etc. But for the sake of time and for the sake of the tutorial, we're just going to do csgo. So upon someone donating something to the bot will go through its csgo inventory and give them an item. So after we've accepted a donation, we want to send a trade offer, conveniently done as this. So you can do convert.toUint64 like we did before. Yeah, so we can just copy this a little bit because it'll take a while to write it, and I don't really care. And then trade offer message. Thanks for donating. Here's something in return. Server ID is 1. I mean, it can be other things, but I haven't really gone over that. So this is going to complain. For one, we didn't give it all the parameters. So you're going to see it's going to want a trade offer parameter. So let's do that now. So trade offer equals new trade offer, be an RG inventory item. Item equals inventory, my inventory handler dot inventories 730 dot items dot first dot value dot items dot first again. I understand this might seem a little confusing, so let me go over what we just did step by step. And if you're wondering why we haven't done anything with this, we're getting to that. So this is an RG inventory item. It's a special item. It's basically a CEcon asset, but it's Valve's own special way of handling inventory things. I don't really know why they don't treat them as CEcon assets or something, but there you have it. So my inventory handler, meaning I want my inventory, I want the csgo inventory, since this is a dictionary. I want to look through its items, but instead of iterating through all of the items, I just want to go to the first item we have. I want to look in the actual item part instead of the dictionary part. I want to look through the items contained within that specific item. I know it's a little confusing. This is more of a general, all-encompassing item. This is the individual item itself. As you can see, right here, it says RG inventory item. And I want the first one there. So to reiterate, I want to look through my CSGO inventory. I want to go through the first general item. The first general dictionary of items. I want to look in the value of those items, of that item dictionary. And I want to go to the items linked to that dictionary, and I want the first item in the dictionary. So it would look something like this. So let me explain what a value is. So as you can see, this is a dictionary. This is a string dictionary, meaning if you access an example like this, apple, so let's just say Spanish example, so this is a little bit easier to understand. So example apple, so string Spanish name equals example apple. So we add a new item to the dictionary called apple. This is the English version, and this is the value. So key value. So if I access the dictionary with this key, this value will show up. So let's just change that really quick. So as you notice, this won't throw an error. So it's like, okay, you want to access the dictionary through Apple, and you want to get the item associated with that. So I'm going to look through my dictionary, and I see apple. Okay, then that means they want manzana. So then if you were to look into Spanish name, it would become manzana, but not apple. And if you were to access Spanish dictionary dot values, you highlight over here, or not, string, we can just access it like an array. Dot to array. Okay, so as you can see, if we hit values, it means, okay, this person wants all of the Spanish names, but they don't want to look at these, they don't want to access it like that, so we're just going to give them all of these. So as a better example, dictionary.add dog, perro. So you'll see that, and it's like, okay, so the person doesn't want to access the dictionary through these, he or she just wants all of the Spanish names. So if we were to go through this, it would be manzana, the array would be manzana and perro. The same can be done like this, dot keys, dot to array. Then it goes, okay, so the person doesn't want to look at the Spanish names, they just want the keys, which are the English names. Okay, so if you've got a handle on that, great. If you don't, talk to me in the comments and I'll try to explain things as best I can. But the summary of this is, I want the first general collection of items, I want to look through the actual item part of that, then I want the first item available. So then offer .me.assets .add item. Then you'll notice, oh wait, I can't do that. Argument type RG inventory item cannot be assigned to a CEcon asset. Well, luckily for you, I implemented a quick little conversion method to the item class called toCEconAsset. And since we're just doing CSGO, we can provide the app ID of 730. Okay. So this means upon completion of a trade, the bot is going to create a new offer. It's going to grab the first item in its CSGO inventory. It is going to add that to the offer, and it is then going to send that offer to the person who did the donation. So let's go over that. Let me show you how that works. So it's going to restore NuGet packages. Then it's going to give you some build errors for some reason. And then you'll notice Newtonsoft is missing because the package restore is broken. So you want to go to NuGet package manager, manage packages, unitsoft.json, install. And then just click OK. And it's going to open up a new window saying thank you. Okay. So now we should be able to compile just fine. Oh boy, the wonders of this thing. So I'm going to quickly exit out of the solution. I'm going to reopen the solution and hopefully the changes took place this time. We don't need to be in there. Okay. That was my bad. We need to add that to the actual, the C# trade offers solution. So let's just go to NuGet package manager, manage packages, unitsoft.json, uninstall, reinstall. Okay. Executing script file. Exit. Exit. And you'll see that the namespace is happy now. So we compile. Then we're going to run. Uh-oh, we're missing our API key. So if we go down there, and then we go into donation bot, bin, debug, you'll notice it created this configuration.xml. If we open that up, you'll see a file that looks like this. So this is unimportant, but you can implement this part into the bot by accessing the config file like that. But I'm not going to go over that right now. So you put your username, password, or my username, my password, linked API key. Don't touch this. Well, you won't ever touch this. This is handled automatically by the bot. So you'll notice that in XML, you don't need to put quotes around things like you did with JSON. You just need to put them in between the tags, which this is the starting tag, this is the ending tag. So I'm just going to quickly copy and paste my own config file because I don't want you guys to see my password. Okay, I'm just going to trust that this config file is filled with my details. So if we run it, notice the bot is trying to log in. Login was successful. Okay. So then if I go to my friends list, go to my bot, open up my bot, send it a trade offer. I'll give it a crate. Yes, this is a gift. Make the offer. And then I'm going to complete my verification email. Please note that unless you want to answer those emails every time your donation bot tries to accept a trade, you can disable the emails through your settings. Okay, so we offered the bot a crate, and assuming I'm running this on the correct account, yep, accept a donation. Then we'll see that the game's going to crash because we're just not cool enough for that. Okay, so you need to add this part to the using. So assuming I didn't add that when I was testing things, using C# trade offers, then you need to go back down here. Remember when we did this? So this was right here. Well, that's incorrect because we're trying to send it to a specific person, and instead I accidentally passed it the trade offer ID. So what we do here is Steam ID operations dot convert account ID to ulong ccon trade offer dot account ID other. So I've added a bunch of functions to the library a while back to help with converting different ID types to other different ID types. So, since this is an ID and this needs to take a ulong partner Steam ID 64, well, we're going to convert the account ID to a Steam ID 64, so that's what we needed to do here. Okay, so again, run the bot. Send the bot a trade offer. Accept the email. Send the trade offer. Okay, so then if we go over here, it should say that there's been a donation. Then it'll crash, or no, well, that was just a breakpoint from earlier, my bad. You'll see, okay, now the bot's working correctly. So now if we go over here, we'll notice that we now have a trade offer. Foxbot has offered a case for your nothing. Thanks for donating, here's something in return. So, if you go to Foxbot's inventory, you'll see that the crate is the first thing in its inventory. So if none of these crates were here, it would give me a key. You know, if there's like something different right here, it would give me that first, etc., etc. So that's how that works. I'm sorry for the mistakes on my end, but hopefully you learned something. My next tutorial will probably be going around modifying existing trade offers so that we don't have to do that again. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you need any help, ask in the comments below, and I'll do my best to help you in any way I can. Thank you so much. Goodbye.